Hello aspirants, this is Advocate Madhur Pofre on behalf of EduNation Academy for UPSC and MPSC. From today onwards, we are in the last lap, or we can say in the last week of the examination. The examination is scheduled on 28th May, this Sunday, coming Sunday. And I hope and I know that you all are prepared well enough. After mentoring thousands of students, training thousands of students, over the period of 10 years in this field, I have come across certain basic, normal, general behavioral patterns of the students and aspirants exactly before a week of the examination, and I wanted to address those behavioral patterns in this particular video. So therefore, if you are feeling extremely nervous, if you are sweating all the time while reading your material, if you are feeling that you are not prepared enough, if you are feeling that fear of failing the examination, then you must watch this video, because all I wanted to do in this video is share my expertise, share my experience that I have gained over the years, even when I was an aspirant myself, and now as I am a trainer. I have some points for you that if you follow them, you will definitely not feel that much nervous, or you will understand why you are feeling so and how to overcome this, because we know you cannot lose this time. This is actually the most important week of your preparation. So let me start with what I need to tell you, what I need to share with you. First of all, we are talking on Monday. Today is Monday. You are attempting your examination on Sunday, coming Sunday. What you are expected and not expected to do in this week. First of all, if you are still reading new material, you are committing a huge mistake, my friend. Because this time is not for reading new material. Believe me, whatever you read from today onwards is not going to be remembered in the examination, because you are not reading it with calm mind. You are reading it with nervousness. You are reading it with negativity, and therefore it is not going to help you in the examination. Believe me, after so many years spending as a trainer, I have come across a truth, and that is there is no such thing as being fully prepared in UPSC examination. You are not going to feel that you are fully prepared even after you study for 10 continuous years. This examination is of such kind, you need to understand that. So if you are reading anything new, if you think, I have skipped the part from art and culture, or I have skipped the part from ancient Indian history, I have skipped the part typically from climatology, or typically from economics or environment, do not worry about it, because you do not know, neither I do nor you do, that which kind of questions are going to form the question paper. So even if you are spending your time in reading something that you thought you would read, it's not going to help, because what if there are no questions from that certain part? Now you will say, sir, what if the questions do come from that part? So even if they do, and even if there are one or two questions, let us skip them. Because what we need to do in this particular week is to practice like an athlete. You are not going to learn a new skill. You are going to brush up all the skills that you have learned so far. That is what this week is for. So no new reading in this week, because that's not going to help you, and neither revision. You are not going to revise also. Revision ka time last week tak tha. This week you are not going to revise too. So what are you going to do in this week? This week I want you to practice a lot. And by practicing, what I mean is application of your knowledge. And how do you apply your knowledge? By solving a lot of mock tests, by analyzing where you lack in the examination. Every aspirant has certain strong topics and certain weak topics in the question paper. There are topics कि आप कितना भी करो वो सही से नहीं solve होते, and there are topics कि आपको guarantee होती है that I can solve them. So आपके strong points और weak points पहचानिए, and this week you are going to apply and make your own tailor-made strategy for the preliminary examination. Because what is going to help you in preliminary examination is not your knowledge. Understand this fact about UPSC examination. The preliminary examination is less about knowledge and more about your presence of mind, more about your recollection and more about your calmness in those 2 hours, more about being present in that particular moment. So your knowledge will not help you much after a certain point of time. Your presence of mind, your educated guess and your practice is going to help you in preliminary examination. So the first and very important point that you people are going to follow in this week is you're not going to learn or read anything new. You're neither going to revise as well. What you're going to do is only practicing, solving a lot of mock tests and analyzing them. Now secondly, if you are feeling that you are underprepared, if you are feeling that you are going to fail this examination, believe me, it's okay. It's definitely fine, because everybody who has learnt enough, who has revised enough, who has practiced enough, who has prepared enough is feeling the same way. I can give it to you in writing that every serious aspirant today is feeling that he is going to fail this examination. Every serious aspirant today is feeling that he is underprepared. He has to prepare a lot. So if you are feeling this, believe me, it is extremely normal in UPSC. जो बंदा ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1 आता है ना, वो भी एग्जाम के पहले वीक यही फील करता है जो आप लोग फील कर रहे हो. That's not new, that's not strange, and you are not underprepared. Believe me, if you have been preparing at least for more than 6 months for this examination, if you have followed the schedule that was given by your mentor, if you have completed at least 2 readings of every subject that forms the part of the question paper, believe me, you are prepared enough. And as I told you, there is nothing called completely prepared in case of UPSC examination. You are prepared enough. Mind my words, take my words as true, and believe in yourself. So how are you going to know if you are really prepared or not? First of all, solving the mock tests, giving it all that you have, and secondly, actually only those 2 hours on the 28th May will decide if you have prepared well or not. Thirdly, the things you are expected to do from this day onwards is, first of all, worry less. Do not worry much about the examination. Even I recommend, do not discuss a lot with your fellow trainees, your fellow mentees, because everybody is at different levels and different levels of preparation and different levels of understanding. Discussing a lot about how this question paper will be it be a dynamic paper or a theoretical typical static paper like the last 2 years, इसमें कुछ रखा नहीं है, because actually nobody knows it. What are you doing if you continue to discuss all these things? First of all, you are wasting your very valuable time, and secondly, you are creating panic for yourself. क्योंकि जब आप अलग अलग एस्पिरेंट से बात करते हो तो what happens is he tells you some other material that is published by some class कि अरे ये नहीं पढ़ा क्या, this is a very good material, ये नहीं पढ़ा क्या, that was a very good material, and वो नहीं पढ़ा तो क्या ही फायदा हुआ यार, पिछले साल इस मटेरियल से एग्जाम में इतने क्वेश्चंस आए थे. Everything is lie. If you have followed the standard UPSC material that is generally prescribed by every good trainer, then you are prepared enough. Then you have prepared well. There is no problem at all. So ज़्यादा discussion, I believe you are expected to avoid it. अगर उतने अच्छी wavelength match होती है किसी के साथ तो discuss a little, but no ज़्यादा discussion. Very less. Practice more, avoid going out. This is a very important thing that I am telling you, because everybody knows right now the summer is hitting up like hell. There is actual hell outside the room, and therefore if you go out for any purpose, even if you know for calming your mind in the afternoon time, you are going to be affected by sunstroke, the heat that is causing right now. So I suggest you do not go out much. Do not fall sick. You are not allowed to fall sick. अच्छा खाना खाओ, अच्छी नींद लो, have enough sleep, have enough rest, and don't fall damn sick. Next one is, when you are practicing, when you are solving the mock tests, I believe there are certain topics that you must take care of, that you must focus on. If you analyze the last 2 or 3 years paper, history has been a little strange, right? Typically ancient and medieval history, there have been several questions from these topics or these subjects that are strange. So I recommend that you focus a little more on ancient and medieval history if you have prepared on it. Now there may be some aspirants, those who have not prepared on medieval history. If you have not, then skip it even in the mock tests. You have to understand what you are going to solve and what you are going to leave in the question paper. So if you have not prepared on medieval history, leave it, that's fine. But if you have, then please pay a little more attention on ancient and medieval history, because the questions are quite strange. So history part, then environment, that occupies large portion in the preliminary examination, polity, current affairs from economy, geography, all these focus areas must be focused well while solving your mock test. And lastly, but extremely important, if you feel any difficulty, if you feel any confusion in your preparation or solving mock tests or strategy of the examination, talk to your mentor, talk to your trainer, because he or she is going to be the most important person in your life, at least for this week. They have the answers of 90% of your questions, because believe me, if somebody trains you for UPSC, he has gone through almost everything that you have been going through or you are going to go through. So therefore, talk to your trainer. If you feel any kind of problem, approach your trainer. Now I have given my own contact number in the description of this video. If at any point of time you, even if you are not my student, you are watching my video on YouTube just like that, please do not hesitate to call on that number. But before calling, I would recommend send me a WhatsApp text message with your name and your query, and I will call you back surely. I will try to provide the answer from my end, the most practical answer to your question from my end. If you feel that there is something that you have to talk to me, if you feel that I can help you in that particular thing, do call on the given number. There is no problem from my end at all, because ultimately what matters is you passing this examination. So follow what I told you, follow your mind, understand and believe that you have prepared well enough and you can definitely crack this examination, and appear in the examination like it is your last chance, like it is your final attempt. Give it all you have, क्योंकि वो कहा है कि अब हवाएं ही करेंगी रोशनी का फैसला, जिस दिए में जान होगी वो दिया रह जाएगा. So I want all you to be that lamp which sustains even in the strongest of the winds. I wish you all the best from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of EduNation Academy for UPSC and MPSC. Go and succeed.